is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Sponsored by Alive Credit Union.
Welcome into Fleet and Footy, another week of soccer talk, all things Jacksonville Armada and the world of footy. I'm Stuart Weber, joined by Llerandi. And Lewis, we're starting with an image. This is an image of Patton Park.
It's a gorgeous facility.
Gorgeous facility.
Brand new turf just got put in not too long ago.
Brand new turf put in not too long ago. Lewis, I have a question for you. What is missing in that picture?
Possibly a Lewis and a Stuart in front of that
No. No. I took the picture.
Yeah, I understand that.
As I was there.
That I do understand.
Last night.
Mm-hmm.
What was missing in that picture, Lewis?
A Lewis.
You left me on red the entire day.
No.
We had
an event in the morning.
I sent you multiple texts. For those who did not watch last week's show, we had Nathan Walter in the hot seat with us. And, you know, we talked about this friendly little pickup game that some staff members from the Fleet, put together. And, I'm going to emphasize, you and I together committed to going and joining this group for a little bit of footy. And one of us completely bailed with no explanation.
Yeah. You want an explanation? It's kind of a sad one. Ends up being a sad one, but
I'm not going to
not a great one.
not going to make you give me an
really not a great one.
I don't need a sad explanation. I need to know why I was left on red. Why I didn't get a text message.
Well, you know what? I did alert Nathan that you did text me, and then we happened to be touring a nice facility downtown near our stadium site. We'll get into some of that later.
Don't try to tease ahead. You know I love teasing. Don't try to tease ahead in the show.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like I'm kind of forced to go next Wednesday. It depends on what's going on.
Well, I'm not going to be there next Wednesday because I'm going to be at Daytona for single car qualifying.
Oh, okay. Well, that's exciting though.
The point is,
I'd rather be at Daytona. Being honest.
I agreed. I agreed to go strap up some boots for the first time in a decade, mind you.
It's good. It's good to do it right now.
I agreed to do it because you know what? I knew that I would have a comrade, somebody at least somewhat near me on the talent level of soccer. Make no mistake, of the 20 some odd people out there, you're looking at number 20. I make no bones about it.
I think I would have been 21, Stuart.
That's what I wanted. What are you talking about? That's what I want. You know how much better I would feel if I was at least comparable, if not better than one other person there? You? Corbin, by the way.
How'd he play?
He balled out. He
really?
Was playing center back on the same team as me. I was dragging him down from the left back position as much as possible.
He said he was feeling himself. I called him this morning. I asked him. I had to get the Stuart report. I had to ask. And he said you played really good. He also said they played longer than normal.
Well, how long do they normally play?
I guess they only play 20-minute halves, but I guess
30-minute halves.
You were involved in 2:30s. Yep, you were involved in 2:30s.
I didn't know they do it shorter normally.
Yeah.
Why did they decide that?
They bumped that back down to 20.
Oh my goodness gracious, Lou, I'm disappointed.
It's gonna happen. I'll get some footage out there. I even said I might have to full kit it out there. So I'll get it thrown a full Armada kit. We'll get some footage of myself running around.
It was fun. I will say I had a lot of fun. Kicking it around a little bit. Made some bad passes. Definitely made some mistakes that led to some goals, despite having one of the best goalies in town, in Nick Rula.
Nick Rule.
He is amazing, by the way. And we played on half a field, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they play on a condensed half field, and the blast these guys are taking. This is a lot of the JFC coaches and staff members. They're just like
some former Armada pros out there.
They are unrelenting in their attack on net, and Nick was just parrying them away left and right.
He's a beast. He is a beast. The Great Dane.
Happy to say, I was vertical by the end of the game. That was the goal. I make, I'm.
There's no way you're not sore.
Oh, I'm sore. Yeah, no, I am sore. Yes, probably the last.
It was quite the week to pick to do this, right? Between going down to Daytona.
Yeah, what are we doing? You know how busy we've been in the studio here the last hour or two, just getting stuff done. Maybe the last 5 minutes of it, like I'm starting, like my hamstrings, like starting to yell at me a little bit, and I'm just like, I've got a history of bad hamstrings. In the Action News Jack softball league, where I pulled a hamstring.
Marcel was wearing a boot this morning.
That's from his flag football escapades. What do they say in Lethal Weapon? Getting too old for this stuff. Replace stuff with another word. Anyhow, I was able to walk off at the end. I was standing at the end, and I think that was the most important part. And I had fun. I had a lot of fun. So appreciate those guys.
It's a big group of guys.
Appreciate those guys inviting me out. And man, by the end of that second half, the opposing team was absolutely funneling all their offense through my side of the field. I get it. I get it from a competitor standpoint, but come on, man. Go to the other side for a minute. I'm huffing. I got hands on waists, and I'm just trying to breathe and live. And they're launching attacks my way. All the while.
Were you on Tommy's team or not?
I was on Tommy's team.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I did manage to get a couple. Basically, when they got the ball to me, my first instinct, where's Tommy? I try to find Tommy. I try to get the ball towards him because I know if I put it anywhere near him, he's going to gather it up and make me look a little bit better.
Of course.
But
any assists?
I think there was one I almost got an assist on. I think I almost had an assist. I don't know.
I assume they played you with the bag. That's the only reason why I said any assists, right?
I am a defender by nature. Yeah, no.
But they didn't want to throw you up top at the number 9 just to see if they could get you one?
I mean, it might have been better for me as far as saving me from just getting beat down time after time. I think it was probably like a 50-50 split. Half my passes were good. Half of them went to the wrong team, the team without the pennies. And thus, I know at least one goal, and I think it was the go-ahead goal for the other team, was 1,000% my fault. So I appreciate those guys having me out there. All right, Lou, we can move past this now. Did you say you're sorry?
I'm sorry, Stuart.
Okay, just put it on the record.
I'm sorry.
We'll get out there, you and me together, and
I'll get my solo run in. Yeah, I'll embarrass myself first, and then
go run some stadiums to make up for this. All right, let's talk some soccer, shall we? We got a stacked show, so let's waste the first 7 minutes of it with me just yelling at you for not showing up last night. That makes a lot of sense. Let's start by talking about some Jacksonville Armada stuff, shall we?
Sure, yeah.
That's what we like to do. It is the first word of the show title, Fleet. Let's talk a little MLS Go, shall we? You guys have been able to make a great donation, the Armada in Section 904, and that has allowed a lot of the East Side kids to get a chance to get exposed to the game and get a chance to play some soccer. Tell me a little bit about it, Lou.
Yeah, you see there we got Seba, Gab, Mama J, and Shavaya all representing Section 904 right there at Robert F. Kennedy Park.
Jed Bowman in that shot,
Jed
too.
Bowman is
former
the
Armada great.
He's the coach of the program, so that's
Love
Coach
it.
Jed to those little
Coach
ones
Jed.
there.
Yes, official.
It's been an awesome experience these last couple of weeks to be able to be a part of that, and I know we've been teasing it that it has been happening, but we finally got the MLS Go jerseys in, and Section 904 was able to show that how much money that they raised for the program. It ended up being almost over $600 and providing an opportunity for 28 kids within the East Side community to some of them experience soccer for the very, very first time. So it's been a pleasure to just be able to watch these kids grasp the game and really start to enjoy it. It's a neighborhood that we're going to move into, obviously, with our stadium, and everyone's been so welcoming between the East Side Athletic Association, Jack's Melanin Market, and now the Florida Avenue Main Street coalition has been awesome.
Yeah, and you mentioned that event was yesterday, right?
Yes, it was. It was yesterday.
So you had a chance to go down there, Florida Avenue, the home.
The new Florida Avenue.
The new Florida Avenue. That's the old A. Philip Randolph?
Yes.
Right? So Florida Avenue, they had a big press conference and ribbon cutting ceremony, and the Armada were able to be out there as a part of it, knowing that, the future of this franchise is in that historic East Side community.
If you looked the other way up from this shot, you would be able to see our tarps on our lot. So we really are just a stone's throw away. It was an awesome event to be at. So many people from the city really did show up and show their support. This is the first Main Street in the city of Jacksonville. Obviously, we mentioned Fernandina Beach a lot because I'm from there, but Fernandina Beach has a Main Street. St. Augustine has one, but Jacksonville doesn't have one. So this will be the first designated Main Street in Jacksonville. And obviously, like you mentioned, Philip A. Randolph, right, will be now renamed Florida Avenue. And so
A. Philip Randolph. See,
there you go.
It's on the picture right there.
And there's always a place for you in the Avenue. That's their slogan that they're running with, and it's been awesome. FAMS is also their acronym, which I think is also another great reason to be out there. A bunch of economic stimulation is going to come to that area between the Jaguars and the city. So it's been really exciting to be a part of that community and get to know the people down there.
Yeah, a big part of that. I know you guys take part in the Melanin Market every week, right? Or how often do that goes?
We try to be a part of the Melanin Market as much as possible. They obviously do help us sometimes in the back end, like those MLS Go programs and different things. The next big event, you got to go check out their socials at Jack's Melanin Market, because they have a couple awesome events coming up this month because of Black History Month.
There you go.
The big one that we will be attending, though, is February 22nd from 12 to 6. There's the parade, obviously, which we will be in. Us, Section 904, and some of the MLS Go little children.
Are you going to actually show up to that one?
I should be there.
Not gonna.
So it's
leave them on red in the text.
It'll be a big market with big parade. We'll be out there walking in it, and I think also we'll have a little booth set up. But I think they also have the Riverside Arts Market is doing something with the Melanin Market this weekend or next weekend, I want to say. So please check their social media. They're doing a lot of cool things this Black History Month.
Jason, if you can go ahead and pop up our live look of the week. As I feel like we're going to make this into a weekly segment, right? This is one of the benefits. Peaking. One of the benefits of being here at Action News Jax is we have a camera pointed directly at our stadium site.
It's awesome. Shout out to Fast Signs of St. John's Bluff. I actually saw them out there whenever I was just checking out the site, just wanting to see what was up. But as you can see, more signage up on that lot. And I think this shot gives you a really good visual of just how big that lot is and what that 7 acres encompasses.
And of course, the stadium is going to be a little more to the right side of this plot that you're looking at.
Yes, this necessarily won't be the middle where you see those two roads meet. It will be a little bit skewed towards that right side. There'll be a parking lot on that left side, and I'm sure I'll have some more info for you on what the stadium will look like pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll continue to push that forward here on Fleet and Footy. This is the spot as Jason pops in on the chat. Always bringing a classic car for the parade.
Oh, that's right. Seba is bringing, Seba is the man of classic cars. So the classic car will be out there. All the kids will have their MLS Go jerseys.
Do we know what kind of classic car?
I think Sebastian will hopefully put it in the chat. I don't know if he's watching.
Yeah, let us know.
Now.
Let us know what we're bringing. Want to know.
But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's always a big occasion, and there's always great vendors and fantastic food. So it's been really awesome to collaborate with Jack's Melanin Market over the past couple of years.
Excellent. All right, we are going to take a quick break here on Fleet and Footy. You get a break in early. Oh, Corvette, nice. I love Corvettes, by the way.
American muscle.
Yeah, I love a good Corvette. So that's awesome. We're going to take a quick break here on Fleet and Footy. We're still going to talk about the Armada Academy. We got your January Team and Player of the Month. That's still to come. But when we come back, we're going to talk a little high school soccer with one of our local coaches. We are in the playoffs. We're getting ready. Some teams have already started. Some get started next week. Playoffs. So we've got one of the top coaches in our area. We're going to talk a little high school soccer coming up next right here on Fleet and Footy. People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with We Armada rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is home. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Jacks 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jacks, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget the Brett and Austin Show. They're all in on Trevor. Of course. Download the Action News Jacks Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjacks.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. Jacksonville sports, all the time.
2024 provided plenty of memorable moments for the Jacksonville Armada on the pitch, including another conference championship game appearance for Tommy Krasanovich's under-23 men's team. Debuting this year for the first time, the girls in blue as the Armada fielded a women's under-23 side in the WPSL and made its presence known with some highlight moments.
Potential goal of the season!
Then attention turned to the future, with MLS Next teams representing the Armada badge in 3 age divisions this fall, including an under-19 squad ranking among the best in the state. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
This is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, sponsored by Alive Credit Union.
Hey, welcome back to Fleet and Footy, and let's talk a little high school soccer, shall we? And we're going to talk a little Mandarin Mustangs, the undefeated Mustangs, picking up a win, 3-0. This is a video from earlier, I believe last year, but I wanted to show them playing soccer. This is them playing soccer. Good job, Mandarin. They picked up a 3-0 win in the opening round of the playoffs against Navarre. And we're going to bring in Coach Jason Cooley, joining us here on Fleet and Footy as his team gets ready for a second round matchup tomorrow night against Matanzas. Big one coming up inside the Corral. Coach, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. We wanted to kind of bring you on and give you a chance to brag on the boys a little bit. You guys are 16-0-2, so undefeated in the regular season, which, you know, that's kind of old hat at this point for the Mustangs. You guys have had some great regular seasons. Now it's all about finding a way to make that thing translate to the postseason.
Yeah, that has been our difficulty. I mean, it seems like an anchor around our neck all the time where Clayton Freeman from the Times Union talks about all the time. We're undefeated this. I'm going, could you stop saying that? You know what I mean? It's just crazy. I don't want to hear that. But no, it is something to be proud of because our boys have really stepped up to it. And, we have expectations every single year and we preach those expectations. And, when they instituted the ranking system, it's a big deal to essentially be ranked as high as we are. Before it was nice, but now you get to host all your games if you're the number one ranked team, essentially. And because of our ranking in our region, we get to host all the time. There's no traveling, and obviously that's way better for us, or at least we hope it is. And that's the way it's been the last couple years. And last year, we were right there. I think we had one of the best teams I've ever coached. and we just didn't get it done. It was kind of like a freak kind of game situation that happened. A couple of late free kicks that gave them the opportunity. So we lost essentially the last 12 seconds of the game. It went into overtime, but we got a blue card and played a man down, so it's more difficult. So but this year it's a younger team, if that makes sense. That we graduated so many seniors last year that we had to kind of rebuild our defense. Our offense, it's essentially the same. It starts through Amir Tredo. He's a junior, plays ECNL at Florida Elite. And then we have two wing players that, every one of our players is in the attacking third is a 20-plus goal scorer. So we've been pretty potent this year, and we typically only try to play a very difficult schedule in order to have our ranking as high as possible.
Yeah, I was going to say not all undefeated schedules are the same. You can look at teams that maybe went undefeated and didn't play the hardest of competition. Taking a look at your schedule, I mean, a lot of these teams that you played on this schedule are still playing because they're postseason teams. I mean, your draws against Creekside and Fleming Island, you learn a lot in those matchups. You play the Bartram Trails, the Beachsides of the world, the Fletchers, and you're learning so much from those games that you're now putting towards the ones that matter here in the knockout stages.
100%. I mean, Creekside is obviously a major rival of ours because typically they're in our same classification. So we're fighting for spots in the rankings that then lend themselves to the playoffs. But Mandarin is actually a classification down this year. So so we're in a different arena as far as playoff teams. Our typical playoff teams we're playing Creekside, and Bartram is normally a higher classification as well. We're playing Lake Mary and a lot of the big schools in Central Florida, and then we're playing the Boca, Weston, and Tampa Plant and stuff like that. So this is actually a whole different ball game for us. We've never kind of played in this classification, so it is different. But to your point, Fleming Island game, very tough game for us. Creekside, Bartram Trail, Nice. So we have been through it all year, so we are prepared for it from that standpoint. But as we found out the other night, I mean, we really struggled the other night on a team that the team was fine. I think we were significantly better, but we certainly did not show it. We were 0-0 at the half. They looked. I would say they would look nervous for the moment, which is, I guess understandable. There's a lot of them that have played in the playoffs, so I expected a little bit more from them. But, survive in advance.
That's it. That's it, exactly.
So I'd say we're way more prepared for this Friday night than we were for Tuesday night. So good for that.
Coach, while on this unbeaten run, how do you make sure your guys are focused and, are in the right mindset? Obviously, going undefeated is such a big feat. So how do you just make sure that your guys are focused?
I think all the coaches on our staff and myself, we really preach that every game is somebody else's Super Bowl, if that makes sense. So I'm going if we're playing Sandalwood, we're a Super Bowl for them, and they want to kick our butt, and they want to sorry I said butt, but they want to they want to end that run of being undefeated. So every game I preach to my team that we're going to get the absolute best effort from the other team, and I think that prepares them mentally for a battle every single time. Even when we play a team that isn't particularly good record-wise, we seem to get the best out of them. So I think my team is prepared mentally each time to face that assault, if you will.
Coach, we'll wrap this thing up and ask you, what do you expect from Matanzas here tomorrow night? I know they're right outside of our viewing area from an Action Sports Jacks perspective, but literally right down the road. What are you thinking here from the Pirates?
Good squad. I've watched them on the network multiple times, and we have some common opponents, and we used to actually play them all the time because a friend of mine used to coach down there. So we had one of their coaches used to coach at Palm Coast, which was a natural team for us. They used to be in our region all the time, so we used to play Flagler Palm Coast all the time. He had moved over to Matanzas, so we kept that kind of going. So we have some familiarity with them, but it is a good side, and if we're not prepared, we will definitely not win the game. So I mean, I always expect our team to win, but it's not a walkthrough. I mean, I know we're the 1 seed and they're the 5 seed, I think, or whatever, but it is not one of those kind of situations. They're good enough to win. So.
All right, that is Jason Cooley, head coach for the Mandarin boys soccer team. Coach, thank you so much for giving us some time and talking a little boys soccer here on Fleet and Footy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for talking about high school soccer. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. That is Coach Jason Cooley. Thank you so much. And Mandarin taking on Matanzas. On the other side of that region, Bartram Trail is on the road. They got to go down to the Orlando area to take on Horizon. Could very well have a Bartram Trail Mandarin rematch in the regional final. That could happen. They played earlier in the year back in December with Mandarin winning 2-1. So it was a close game then. I'd imagine it'd be another close game if they have to lock horns once again. By the way, I can run through the rest of the boys soccer schedule. These games are Friday night. Creekside will be at home against West Orange. We mentioned Bartram Trail on the road and Mandarin at home. Beachside on the road at Pensacola, Washington. Fleming Island will be at Panama City Beach, Arnold. Those are your Friday games. And then the lower classifications get started on Tuesday. Pensacola Catholic will be coming to town to take on Wolfson. Bowls on the road at Santa Fe. And Keystone Heights also on the road for their matchup. In 2A, Taylor County is coming to town to play Episcopal. Shout out Coach Bolt, Armada great, from his one appearance.
I was going to make sure you got that one in.
One appearance in the U.S. Open Cup. Of course, a UNF great, Hall of Famer. Just got inducted into the Hall of Fame recently. Now the head of all soccer activities over there at Episcopal. And then in 1A, St. John's Country Day at St. Joseph's and Christchurch on the road at Oak Hall. Those are all the boys' matchups. I'm going to save the girls' matchups for later in the show because we have another special guest joining us a little bit later on in the show. So we'll get to that in just a bit. Yeah.
On Fleet and Footy.
I didn't mention Fernandina Beach in there. I'm sorry. They didn't make the cut. It's
okay.
On the boys' side.
I'll mention them.
We'll talk.
I'll mention them in a little bit.
Yeah, the girls' team is playing. Of course, they advanced into the postseason. Look, I don't know if my high school team's playing. They're probably not. if they're anything like they were when I was there, that's probably not happening. So, okay, let's carry on. Let's continue here on Fleet and Footy. Again, thank you to Coach Cooley for calling in and chatting about that. Hopefully, we can have some coaches call in next week as well. As a lot of these teams will play 2 games before we next come back to the show next Thursday. So we'll see who's still around and who's continuing to make a drive towards the state championships. I believe it's in DeLand again. I got to double check that.
You are correct.
Semifinals and finals in DeLand. That is one to watch. Don't need that right there. Don't worry about that. It was. Don't worry about it. By the way, in the chat, CHM, go Saints. Good luck, Mandarin. Lol, good luck, Mandarin. That is, of course, one of those good rivalries, Sandalwood and Mandarin, throughout all levels of sports. Let's talk about the Armada Academy, shall we? And let's get into our team of the month. As we talk about the team of the month, hey, there it is, right there. Tell me a little bit about the guys we have listed here, Lou.
Yeah, I love talking about the young boys in blue, as you could call them. This is the 11 that made it in the team of January. We had some tough opponents in January, like we mentioned. We went and played that doubleheader down in South Florida, one of those games against a very good Inter Miami opponent. And you can see here the boys, Vero White at the 9, who keeps scoring any way he can. Ethan Berger just committed recently, just signed to Lehigh University, if I'm not mistaken about that. But Monzi going to College of Charleston. He's playing that 10 role. He plays up top as well. Donnie Campbell likes to play in all different age groups, but is a U16. Isaiah Zore with his name in gold because he wins January Player of the Month. Cole Anderson.
See, what you do is you save that one for last. That way we transition into the Player of the Month graphic.
Cole Anderson in
there
there.
it is.
Cole
No,
Perez.
we're here. Jump. in.
Isaiah Zore.
No, we're back. Okay. We're getting a little jumpy here.
Danny Stevens, Jackson
Hamby,
Saleh,
sorry.
Cole Gerardo, and Spencer Burris. I had to shout out all the boys.
Okay, man, you got to get them all in there. Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure that's Spencer Burris' first time in Team of the Month. So
nice.
shout out Spencer.
Yeah, good deal.
But Isaiah has had just a solid month. I mean, I remember specifically his game against Inter Miami was really impressive. I'm pretty sure he played that whole 90 and was just a rock in the midfield. That picture's obviously from Patton, but he really did have a great
Do you
January.
know what Patton Park looks like? You know, because you weren't there last night. I'm
there so much.
Just circling back
I just
here.
can't even.
Okay, sorry.
Oh my goodness! And Isaiah, a shout out to Isaiah. He's such a nice kid. And that 19 squad, like we say, super impressive. They got some action coming up very soon. The NAC, the National Academy Championships, out in Bradenton. You like that one? Action.
That was something.
Yep. So
I can't get mad at it because it's the kind of thing I would do.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't be mad at it.
We'll get you those updates on
Yeah.
how that tournament unfolds and everything. So
you guys were on the road this past weekend. The U's. I'm just gonna say the
Utes?
U's guys. The U19, 17, and 16 at West Florida Flames. The U19s go and get a dub, 1-0, and then draws for the 17s and 16s. Right?
Yep.
They play well.
They did. The 19s were in a hard-fought game, and the 17s ended up coming back in theirs. So it's been impressive to see now everyone is on that same wavelength. The culture, it's building. You're starting to see those U17 kids look up to that U19 group and see what they can possibly become in the future. So it's been impressive. I know we actually have a MLS Next ID camp, which is on our website right now. If anyone's available and wants to put their name in the hat to a possible RSVP to that, it is handpicked by the coach. So even if you do put a registration, you may not get picked. But
Is there a U39 team on there?
there's not.
Okay.
But I think we're gonna have a senior league team pretty soon.
No, we're not. Do not need that. And then we'll be home this weekend.
We are against
South Florida FA.
South Florida FA. I think I skipped ahead.
I'm looking at
All
it.
right. I think Chargers is next week. I'm skipping ahead.
There's a week off, and then
That's
an
an action. That's an action. That week off is an action.
Okay.
Yep.
Action.
Thursday to Sunday. It's a long tourney.
Are you going to that?
I think I will be attending a few of those days. Yes.
Okay. So we might have to work on
A little video.
show how we figure that.
No.
out.
I'll be in town. I'll be in town that first day.
Okay.
I'll be in town.
Okay. All right, good stuff. Good to get the Academy update, as we like to do here on Fleet and Footy and the MLS Next program with the U19, 17, and 16. Do you know times, by the way, for this weekend?
This weekend? No.
You don't know. That's okay.
No.
Unbelievable. Light blue. I do know. Corbin gave me the heads up. Light blue for the kids.
Little leak from
Little leak.
Corbinio.
Little uniform leak. Everyone likes the uniform leaks. Okay, good stuff. As mentioned, we're going to circle back to some high school soccer in a little bit. We'll talk the girls game, girls high school soccer with a coach calling in here in just a little bit. But first, let's talk Champions League, shall we?
I'm definitely down to talk Champions League because this final day was exciting.
Okay, let's start with the results from that final match day. So the scores from that week 8, match day 8. It's not really a week, but match day 8. And look, this was the decision day, and you had all of these games happening at the same time.
The exact same time. It was honestly a really cool thing to watch. CBS
How many
had the
how many
Golasso
screens did you have
shows.
on?
I only had the one little screen up because I was working at Patton Park. But we had the CBS Golasso show
So
on.
you know where it is.
And it was awesome. You had Kate, Micah Richards, all the boys there doing their thing. So it was a cool thing that they just got to bounce between all these goals. And you can see there's a lot of goals scored. So the camera was constantly bouncing around. And there's some of these results that happened that ended up really affecting how these teams laid out in the final table. But any games on there that stick out to you?
Let's see. They all stick out, right?
Yeah.
I think I recall the Dutch teams doing well, not Feyenoord. They didn't do so hot. Ugh, 6-1. Not great.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
There's a team called the Young Boys.
Yeah.
There is a team called the Young Boys.
Hamby chiming in.
Where are they from?
Switzerland.
There was not a lot of conviction in that, Lou. What's Google say? Go. Double check. Could be Switzerland.
Swiss professional.
Ah, you got it.
Kind
Okay.
of burns.
That probably means they don't have a shot.
Yeah, I think they're out, right?
Yeah, I think
didn't
they were
make
really
the-
towards the bottom of the table.
But that's the thing, you get that chance to compete against.
Yeah, Sturm Graz had a horrible tournament, and then look, they beat Leipzig on the last day.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I did see PSV beat Liverpool.
With a couple,
There you go.
with a goal
Late, right?
from Ricardo Pepi.
Pepi.
Was one of those three.
U.S. men's national
Liverpool's
teamer.
still top the
Sure.
league.
They didn't have to win.
Oh, yep, they're the young
Boom.
boys.
Oh no, not the young boys. Well, you know what? They gave it a shot. They ended on 0 points and minus 21 on the goal differential. They scored 3 goals in 8 matches.
They did. They did.
Boy. But you know what? That's the thing. You're going to have those sorts of situations, right? Let's look at the top, right? A lot of the teams you maybe would have expected to finish in the top 8. I remember when we looked at it, what was it, four matches in, halfway through?
Yeah.
And it was still kind of like, oh, how's that team way up there in the table? That one came in sideways. Don't worry about it. We'll get back. We'll figure it out there. You look at that table with all those matchups, and this was the new format, right? The top 8 moved on, and then the next teams, well, those are the teams you'll see on the left and right in the this little knockout phase, trying to get to the round of 16. It's still a little confusing.
Yeah, so those top 8 teams got a bye into the round of 16.
Right.
The teams that finished 9th through 24th got themselves into the knockout playoffs, is what they're calling that first round.
Play-in rounds, sure.
And then 25 through 36
All
eliminated.
All of these, except for the championship, by the way, are 2 legs.
Yes.
So home and away. But like the thing is, it's like you don't know if you're, say, Liverpool or Barcelona. You don't know who you're going to play until all those games play out.
It's definitely interesting. There was also a draw for this, so there's a couple things going on here. I believe it goes by the ranking system that UEFA has in place for these clubs. But you could get some really early, crazy matchups.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that there's a really high chance
you
we get
already
Real
do.
Madrid, Man City.
But you already have Madrid and Munich.
Yeah.
In this little play-in round. That's awesome.
So
Love to see it.
It's going to be action-packed. I do enjoy the format. I gotta say, UEFA's definitely sold me on it. I don't think we'll have necessarily such an exciting final tight match day like we did every single time, but it was definitely intriguing. I think it made everyone watch every single Champions League game because every game mattered.
I guess now that I look at this, by the way, Hamby, it would have been fine just to show half of it. It's the same thing on each half, as weird as that is.
I didn't even notice that.
It's the same bracket on both sides.
I didn't even notice
because,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the top, right? Monaco, Brest, PSG, I'm doing the Dutch PSV, PSG, because Paris Saint-Germain, and Benfica, the lowest ranked team of those 4 to advance will then play Liverpool, because they were the highest ranked of the 8 advancing. And then the best of those 4 teams would play Barcelona. So it makes sense if you think about it. You just got to think about it. And that's why we do the thinking for you here on Fleet and
That's
Footy.
our job.
That's it. So Champions League bracket, and away they go. More soccer, all the time.
There's always soccer all the time.
There's always games to watch. All right, so that's one bracket. We actually have another bracket to look at.
We do. This time on this side of the globe.
I thought you were going to say Atlantic.
CONCACAF, I was trying to set it up there. CONCACAF Champions Cup.
All right.
Which is essentially North America's Champions League. Just started, actually, I want to say a couple nights ago, with a Mexican team playing. But there's a couple MLS teams in there. MLS obviously has perennially been not too great in this tournament.
This, Hamby, by the way, is the unnamed graphic in that folder. Give a little guidance there so we pop this up.
There's a couple great first-round matchups. The game that happened last night was Cruz Azul versus Real Hope out of Haiti. So you get to see these teams of, worth millions and millions of dollars against, a bunch of guys from Haiti who have never stepped on a professional pitch outside of their home country. So it's been really cool to see the levels of the competition. It's kind of cut off there. We got a couple good first-round matchups.
Yeah, kill the frame. That'll work. And the thing about this that kind of annoys me is you look at the top left on this thing. Why are all the MLS teams together?
This was a draw.
No, it needs to be like a separated draw so that you don't have. Look at that. There's 6 teams in that little pod, and 5 of them are MLS teams. If you're in this competition, that means only one of those 5 MLS teams can make it into the semifinals.
Yeah, I know Don Garber isn't too happy about the draw there.
That's awful.
LAFC Colorado, we get a nice sneak peek into a good MLS.
No, I don't
game.
care. I don't want that. That's not what this tournament's about.
KC.
Why are you adding more MLS versus MLS games? Make that happen later in the tournament.
You want no one from the same country to play each other at least first round, is what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. If it happens in the round of 16, it happens in the round of 16. But even then, you don't have, you have 16 different teams. I mean, you can make this work. I don't know. What's the expression? CONCACAF gonna CONCACAF.
That is true.
Here we are.
That is very true.
Group them all together. All those fans of all these countries. Guess what? Messi's gonna play Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes,
who they just signed, Dejan Joveljic.
Okay, we'll get to your signings in a little bit.
I'm just letting you know.
I know you are. All right. So this one culminates June 1st. More soccer. The difference is for these guys are only now getting their season started.
Yep, Liga MX is probably about like 5 matches into their season.
But like MLS hasn't even
kicked off yet.
Going yet. You think about like Champions League, that's on the back end, so your team's in form, or throughout the course of it to get.
That's
to
when MLS teams. That's their biggest gripe about it.
The calendar. That's a whole nother topic. This whole calendar
that might change very soon.
Okay, I kind of jumped around a little bit. Do you want to talk about the U.S. men's national team players that are doing well right now? I know that's more talking about Champions League.
Yeah, sure. We're still on the Champions League topic. Pepe scored in that game where PSV beat Liverpool.
What was that?
That was my Liverpool accent. Liverpool.
Let's stop that. Don't do that. I don't know what that was.
And so he's been great, but unfortunately he went down with an injury in the middle of the game. So hoping to see him come back. I believe it was a knee injury. And Christian Pulisic scores in AC Milan's game as they go on to win their final Champions League game and put themselves into the round of 16. But it's been really nice to see these boys step up on a stage and impress. Christian Pulisic's finally, I think, finding himself in Serie A, the slower pace, the ability to just be creative. And that AC Milan team is getting some really interesting signings and just signed Kyle Walker and a few others, if I'm not mistaken. They're going over the top of my head right now. But Christian, I think, has kind of found himself in Milan and maybe carved out a little career in Italy, and he's able to stay there and make a name for himself.
All right, good stuff. We promised earlier in the show that we would talk some more high school soccer, and now is the time that we do that. And we switch our attention over to the girls' side of the game, and let's go ahead and bring in Coach Lexi Messick from the Creekside Knights. And Coach, thank you so much for taking time out. I know, so you're actually teaching, and so you're taking a second here from the classroom to join us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. And I'm not at the high school. I teach 3rd grade, so hence all the decoration back there.
You never know, man. The high schoolers would love the good vibes only sign as well. I think that would work. That would work perfect. Coach, you guys go and get a victory in the opening round of the playoffs, and 17-0-1 now on the season, getting ready for Winter Park home game on Friday night. Tell me about the season, how it's gone. Obviously, you guys haven't lost, so it's been a pretty good season so far as you look to repeat as state champs again here in 2025.
Yeah, it's been a really great year, obviously. But the best thing about this year has been the group of girls, and I know it's been on multiple reports and things now that people have seen it, but it really is just a special group. This is my first year as head coach. I've been assistant for the 3 years before this, so it's been great to come in and already know most of the girls, and this group is extremely talented, as were all the other groups we had before, but the difference with this group is their confidence. Obviously, all the wins helps that, but really they've gotten the wins because of their confidence and their ability to play free. High school, as soon as I took the job, my goal was to make it more fun. Club, I coach at Florida Elite, so the club side of it's not always as fun. So my goal has been to make the high school side of it a little bit more fun, but winning as well. So.
Absolutely. You talk about a lot of the challenges that the team has faced throughout the course of this season. It's funny. I said the same thing with the Mandarin boys coach earlier in the show. You guys are battle tested. You have played the best of the best, not just in our area, but really across the state. And you played the Bartram Trails, the Ponte Vedras. What have you learned from those games to really help your squad out this time of year?
Yeah, obviously the 2 rivalry games in town help us a lot with the mental part of it. Like the girls really want to win those games. And so in the Ponte Vedra game, for example, we were tied, which we don't like, but it has happened to us a lot this year. And having to come back late in the game was actually a huge blessing for us, having to have that fight. And they're a really talented team. So being able to build that belief, just keep at it. Each game has brought a different part of belief to us, and that just keeps growing our confidence, knowing no matter what situation that we face, we're going to be able to handle it. And throughout some of those hard games also, including the Montverde and the Bishop Moore, we've had some injuries and dealt with some sicknesses, and a lot of people have had to step in, which is something you never want to happen, but it is definitely a huge thing that helps us in the playoffs because those things are natural. And we know that we have people on the bench deep that we can go into and rely on, and that's going to be important going into states as we've seen it in the years prior. So.
Yeah.
Oh, being a first-year head coach, how do you build that winning culture, especially at the high school level where kids come and go?
Yeah, luckily, obviously, we won states 3 years ago and then last year, so it's kind of already been there, at least the belief part of it. So that's just something that I've continued to build on and just change the culture of our team a little bit. And to like, there's not as much been pressure. Like in the previous years, I think they felt an enormous amount of pressure, and that's what's been eliminated this year and helped them in those games. I think in previous years in big time games, they would panic and it would cause us to make mistakes. And that's the difference that I see this year. Our back 4 and keeper are amazing. And their ability to keep composure has what's been able. We've only had 3 goals scored on us this year. So
I was about to say, Coach, you guys got a plus 68 in the goal differential. I mean, 3 goals allowed over the course of an entire season is insane. That is insane. Just brag some more on that as a defender. You know, we talk about
a center back also.
we talk about the goal scorers enough, right? Let's brag on that defense.
Yeah, absolutely. So 3. Including the keeper, including the 5, 4 of them play together in club.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a huge help in that composure. They're very comfortable with each other. But they're all just solid players. All 5 of them just have the mental strength, the composure. 3 of them were not starters last year also.
Wow.
So that's a huge thing that you would not believe that our backline is so good and only allowing 3 goals with 3 new starters. But they got to play last year and build those moments and be in the state championship games, and has led to their success this year. So I can't say enough good things about my back 5, especially as a center back. They don't stress me out too much, which helps. So definitely huge. We talk about the goals all the time, but definitely want to shout out those 5 because they are incredible.
Coach, I'll leave you with this. This time of year, do you get to kind of flip a switch and maybe root for the other teams here in Northeast Florida? I'm not saying you're going to go down Longleaf Pine Parkway and throw on some blue or anything, but I'm just saying, like, do you guys root for the Ponte Vedras, Bartram Trails, St. John's Country Days of the world this time of year?
Yes, obviously also Beachside. My dad is the coach at Beachside, so
there you go.
Definitely majorly rooting for them. Go Barracudas. After we played each other, I can now say that.
There you go. I was at their matchup against Ponte Vedra. They played really well in that game the other day.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So definitely cheering for them the most besides us, but definitely Jacksonville. It's great every year to see the Jacksonville areas kind of take over the state at the state championships, and I would love nothing more than if a Jacksonville team won in every division.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. All right, Coach, you guys have a big one coming up Friday night, tomorrow night, against Winter Park at home. Hopefully fans go out there, go check out really not just one of the best teams in our area, in the state, but in the country. This Creekside Knights girls soccer team is really, really good. Coach, good luck in that one and the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and thank you so much for calling in. I know in the middle of class, having to run around, help get someone to come help and look after the third graders. So really appreciate Coach calling in, and yeah, let's see, let's go get some more wins. Go do it.
North Florida is full of soccer at all levels,
goodness.
as you can tell.
It is so good.
Boys,
it's so good
girls.
in this area. It's unbelievable. Okay, I did mention that I was going to give you the full schedule because we gave it to you for the boys. Girls side, Creekside hosting Winter Park. Bartram Trail hosting Nice. Oh, that's a good one.
That's a nice match.
Yeah, a little St. Johns County rivalry game there. Ponte Vedra will be hosting Moseley, while Beachside has to go on the road to Tallahassee Childs. Should those two teams win, we'll get another rematch at the Shark Tank. We did just we had the highlights from that. Yep. Was that last week? Was that just last week?
It was last
My
week
rocket
with the
launch?
rocket.
My rocket launch. And then 4A Bishop Kenny will host Wakulla. Stanton is hosting Ocala Vanguard. We could have both of those teams meet in a regional final as well. And then the lower classifications get started on Tuesday. First round coming up. Fernandina Beach on the road at North Bay Haven. So they got to go out
Pirates.
into the Panhandle. And then Wolfson at Bowles. That's a good all-local matchup in 3A. 2A, Providence and Episcopal both home, hosting Taylor County and Newberry respectively. And then 1A, we know St. John's Country Day, the powerhouse in our state, hosting Pope John Paul II out of Tallahassee. UC hosting Seven Rivers. Christ Church hosting Mount Dora Christian. That's a lot. That's a lot of local teams right there. And I do want to give a big shout out to St. Joseph's, the girls team. They're on the road at Rocky Bayou. That St. Joe's girls team won a district title for the first time in like 20 years.
Wow.
About a week and a half ago.
Breaking the streak.
They were, that was huge. And I got to see the video of the celebration, and it was awesome. They were so pumped about it to win that district title. It means a lot. It means a lot to the kids. So that is your schedule coming up for the girls soccer playoffs. We'll, of course, give you a big update next week after a couple matches have been played.
Yep.
So we got that for you coming up. All right. We need to take one more quick break, but we still got a lot to go. We still got Scarf. Show us your scarf segment. And then we're pushing the boundaries here a little, Lou, on the weird soccer story of the week.
Yeah, we are. We can even skip it. We can scarf it in a.
No, we're not skipping it.
Okay.
The graphics are in.
And Keegan Anselin.
And we need to give a huge shout out to Keegan Anselin. You see him here playing for the boys in blue. Keegan signing along with Ethan Dudley to play with Chattanooga FC and MLS Next Pro. So very exciting news for Keegan. You're seeing him in the playoffs last year for the MPSL season. Keegan's been part of this program for a few years now, so really cool to see him getting to sign that pro contract and move on to the next level.
The Duval duo now in Chattanooga. It's really awesome to see these boys go through the program and move on, but we'll see them soon in Next Pro, I'm sure.
All right, we'll be right back on Fleet and Footy.
Ancla Dorada. The official bear of your Jacksonville Armada.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jacks, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7. People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
This is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, sponsored by Alive Credit Union.
All right, we are back here on Fleet and Footy, and it's Show Us Your Scarves. Lou, take it away. These are your scarves.
You can see me creeping in the shadows there. But yeah, these are probably, I'd say 80% of my scarves that I own. I've accumulated throughout the country, the world, different events. Some of my favorites on there are that AO scarf showing the dates of the U.S. World Cup a couple years ago. We were involved with them. That MLS Next scarf is awesome. Has a date on it. I went to the She Believes Cup right there.
Did you get that one out in California? That
Yep.
MLS Next one?
Yep.
Okay.
There's a MLS All-Star game there in 2019 when when it was played in Orlando City Stadium against Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
Got some West Ham scarves from my time in London. Some of the oddball ones there, as you can see at the end. There's a Binghamton Rumble Ponies minor league baseball.
I'm familiar with the Rumble Ponies. I don't know why they made a scarf. Where is that one at the
very, very end? And then there's also a Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl champs.
There's that Rumble Pony
scarf. There's a scarf in there that I designed myself. There's a couple that I was in the design process of for the Armada.
Yeah. Do you know why they're the Rumble Ponies, by the way? Binghamton?
It's because they have the most, and they used to manufacture them there, the carousels.
Yeah, carousel horses.
So Rumble Ponies. I love it up there. It's actually a really cool little
Their
area
mascot,
of the country.
instead of a bat, he's holding like the pole from the carousel.
My little brother is not
Tim
too
Tebow
far
played
in there.
for the Rumble Ponies at one point.
Ithaca.
Fun fact.
Yep.
Okay, good stuff. We want you, by the way, to send in your scarves.
Please.
Go follow us on social media at Stuart ASJacks, at Lewis_Llerandi. It's like
Those
they're
are
on the
two L's.
screen.
Those are 2 L's, by the way.
2 L's. All right. 2 L's. Good stuff. Okay, Lou. Let's get to your pushing boundaries on the weird soccer story of the week.
Well, I brought a couple stories to you where you said, yeah, flat out no.
I've
I've
had to do that, yes.
This one I even had to censor a little bit of these pictures. It wasn't the worst word in the world, but I'll use a different word.
We'll work on your censoring.
Yeah. You know.
0th minute. Would you say 0th?
The zumph minute.
The what?
I'm just making up a word.
Okay. Jack Young receives a red card for pieing on the side of the pitch, or you can fill in the letters there. He relieved himself on the side of the pitch and got a red card?
Before the game even started. I mean, minute 0. This story comes out of Ireland, the 7th tier of football in Ireland, Palmerstown.
7th tier?
FC, yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking low. But this kind of did the rounds on Twitter, as you can see, or X, as you can see.
4.9 million views.
Yeah, so I kind of had to bring it up because not only did they do this, they kind of just ran with the joke. They ended up putting up a GoFundMe.
Like 20th minute I get, but the 0th minute?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go in the locker room before coming out?
Exactly. That was my first thought.
Did you forget?
Yeah. I mean,
all right, move on to the next slide here, Hamby. And there you go.
Jack Young's urinating on the pitch fine. Please throw any spare change you can. Pays 50-pound red card. And this is the best part because you can see there, this 50 pounds is what they're asking for.
Yeah.
But if you go to the next slide, Hamby, they actually hit their goal, but their goal of 100 pounds. So they upped it a little bit. I'm intrigued as to why.
So they wanted to help pay the fine of 50, but they asked for 100?
Yeah, I don't know where the other 50 went. Maybe.
All right, Palmerstown FC, we're watching you.
Maybe some new facilities upgrade.
Yeah, get another urinal out there. Match the fine for Jack's crime. All right, that's it for this edition of Fleet and Footy. Thanks so much for watching. Good high school soccer talk.
And shout out Riverside United.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Jersey of the Day. Thanks so much for watching. He's Lou. I'm Stuart. Jason back there doing a lot of work. Thanks so much for watching here on Fleet and Footy.